Hi, this is Paul Anderson again, and we're on another video tutorial, and this time we're going to be looking at the Splatosphere at the Mall of America and trying to see how the velocity changes as the ride undergoes some periodic motion. So again, I've opened Logger Pro up, and I'm just going to insert my movie, which I've already downloaded and placed on my desktop, and I think there's my video. I'm going to open it up. You can see there's my video of the Splatosphere. I'm going to open my tools again and just kind of briefly watch what happens. Okay, so it looks like my video is queued up right at the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and start plotting some points. And I'm going to again pick a point that is something I can watch, and so I'll probably go right here in the crook of the ride here. Now, you can see with this video, my quality is not going to be quite as good for the analysis because the camera itself is moving slightly, so I'm not going to get a great view of what's going on. And I am trying to track the same point every time as it goes down. And then when we get to the bottom of the ride, we're going to want to plot some points going back up as well. This is kind of nice because you can actually look at this video from the point of the oscillations of something like on a spring. And we're almost to the bottom. And there we go, we'll come back up. Again, this is kind of the most tedious part of this whole analysis, is being able to plot these points. But you can see that we're starting to get a nice curve, almost a sine curve, when we look at this. And we're going to have to turn off the X information because the X information for this one isn't going to make a lot of sense. We're really not going forward or backwards, or I should say left or right. We're just really going up and down here. Okay, we almost have enough points at this point. There we go. It's probably fairly good here, and then we'll quickly just entering the last few points. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll set our origin. Again, I like to put my origin at the very first point. Then I need to get a quick estimate here. And if I go ahead and I estimate based on this length, we're going to say that that's going to be about let's give it 3.5 meters. And say OK. And then we'll go ahead and make sure that we check our movie options so that our first point is the first time on the video, and our auto arrange our page. Okay, and there you go. You have nice kind of a curve that's set for this, and we'll just look at things in the Y direction. So again, we can take our tool, our slope tool, and kind of look at this and see how the speed is changing. You can see that we are picking up some good speed here. We have about 11 or a little over 11 meters per second. We get down to the bottom, we get flat again. So this is where the ride kind of comes to a rest at the bottom. Then our slope changes again, so we now go from having a negative slope to a positive slope, so that's a change in direction. And then we can see that we go up at much more constant, steady rate here. So my points got kind of a little off kilter, but you can see that the rate is much different than it was coming down, so there's a difference in steepness. We can also look then at our y velocity graph to kind of see that we're getting some difference in our slopes. And you can see this is where I had that abrupt change. So I went from negative velocities to positive velocities. Okay, and if we wanted to, we can actually do some scaling here of the graph. All right, and flatten this out a little bit. And this will look a little more of what we'd expect to see, where we have a general flatness here. Actually, it's a little slope, so we do have some acceleration present through this range. You can see that it's almost a free fall drop. There we're at about 9 meters per second squared. We make our change, and then this is more flat through this range. So that's going to tell us that we're looking at that. One other tool I like to look at with this tutorial is the linear fit tool. And the linear fit tool actually, I'm going to turn off the other one, will adjust the data based upon where we make our arrangement. So I'm going to just tie this linear fit tool, and I'm dragging kind of some corners here. I'm going to bring this in. You can see that this is now going to give me my intercept. So my intercept is kind of giving me a range of what my speeds may be doing. I'm going to just tighten this out and see if we can get a little more flat. Okay. That's pretty good. We get those data points. You can see that we're about flat right here. So now our y-intercept tells us what our kind of average speed is, and our acceleration is really going down to about nothing there. So that's a couple of another tools that we can use in Logger Pro for doing some video analysis. We'll see you in the next video tutorial.